thought I'd make a quick video on a couple of speakers that I picked up last year. I was in two minds whether or not I should make a video on these Yamaha speakers because they're not that easy to get hold of anymore. But anyway, as it's fairly quiet at the moment with stuff coming in, I thought I'd just make a quick video just to give you an idea on these speakers. They're really designed for a computer, possibly a laptop or even a television. So I'll put on screen any information that's relevant and just tell you why I bought these. Cost wise, I paid around about 110 euros I think for this set on eBay from a company in Germany. Don't think they're selling them anymore, but I have found a few places that do sell them. There are two models, the NX-B55, which is the speakers that I have, and they have the Bluetooth connection and a single 3.5mm input. You also have the NX-50, and that doesn't have Bluetooth, but it has two 3.5mm inputs. Honestly, the Bluetooth wasn't a big thing for me, but as I saw these around at a fairly decent price, I thought I'd give them a go. The only controls that we have on this, on the back, there's a switch there which you can turn the auto standby on. After half an hour, what it does is it powers back into standby mode, into a sleep mode to save power, and the switch, if you push it fully down, that resets the Bluetooth connections that you've already paired with it. On the underside, we've got some of the silicone pads. The build on this is actually pretty good. It does feel nicer than it looks in the pictures. They've gone for a matte finish rather than a glossy finish, so it's less exciting, but it's more practical, because the glossy finish, as soon as you've got fingerprints on it, it needs to be clean and it looks dirty. The front grills are not removable. I know some people like them. Didn't really bother me. The metal is quite thick, so they don't seem to dent easily, and the colour, I didn't really have a preference on that. I just grabbed what was available. I've put the cable lengths on screen for you just in case you're wondering. I find them long enough, but like I said, I'd prefer that RCA connector so you could plug your own cable in. As far as the operation on this, apart from the obvious controls on the front, just make sure that you don't put the input volume too high, otherwise you'll get distortion. There's no noise reduction built into this. That's a pro and a con for a speaker. Some of them do have noise suppression, which means that you can't distort the speaker. What tends to happen with that though is you get more muted frequency response and the dynamic range tends to be compressed. So I'm not unhappy with that, but that is one point to bear in mind. User guide is pretty self-explanatory, but it's worth having a quick look through that just to familiarize yourself with some of the functions. Like I said, the controls on this are very straightforward. I tend to leave the standby mode on so that if I walk away from the computer, then they'll power themselves down. Around about half an hour that takes, but you can manually turn that on and off if you want. I'm pretty happy with the sound on these. I have to admit there's a big upgrade, particularly from the small speakers that you tend to get with a computer. They're not professional studio grade speakers and they don't cost as much, but I think for the price they're quite nice and I've been pretty happy with them apart from those small changes. The Bluetooth is decent, but it doesn't have the latest version of Bluetooth, but it does have the enhanced data rate. I put the specs on screen for you. They're 7 watts RMS per channel, so reasonably decent output. There's no difference between the two models in terms of the functionality and the frequency response, apart from that Bluetooth which I mentioned earlier. So what I'll do is play a few samples now just to finish off the quick roundup and a review, but these are definitely worth checking out if you're in the market for affordable but decent sounding small speakers.